Hello, hello, magical souls. Today I'm talking to you about the Akashic Records and specifically about how we can use the Akashic Records for very deep healing. And this is a subject that's very close to my heart because I've had so many life-changing, amazing effects from working with the Akashic Records, not just for myself, but for clients also. So we're going to deep dive into this idea and how we can use the Akashic Record readings for inner healing, transformation. And I know now that more than ever, people are awakening to the understanding that healing isn't just a physical or emotional thing, it's actually energetic. Okay, and we live in a very energetic world. And it's also, we could also see it as multidimensional. And we're learning that we can rewrite the energetic blueprints, the soul codes, and shape our experiences. So that's very exciting. And the Akashic Records are one of the most powerful tools to do this work. And so, if you have been feeling stuck lately, or if you feel like you're in repeating patterns or emotional overwhelm, then you might be ready to step up to the next version of yourself. The record keepers are calling you. Okay, so they can actually speak to you. I ask them regularly to send to me the people that most need to hear from me personally, and they do that. They send me the right people. So listen out for the clues from them. If you feel guided or led to have an Akashic Record reading, it could honestly be your guides pointing you in that direction so that they can speak to you through a healer. But let's take a step back. Let's begin by answering the question, what exactly are the Akashic Records? And I often describe them as a quantum library of your soul. They hold every thought, feeling, action, and intention that your soul has ever experienced. Okay. And this can be across lifetimes and different dimensions. So imagine it's like your soul's Google Drive, but on a higher frequency. Okay. When we access this field of divine intelligence with reverence and intention, we have to be accessing it correctly. We can uncover the root cause of emotional blocks. We can release old contracts that no longer serve us and activate new aligned timelines for our soul's evolution. The records aren't just about fortune telling, though, they're more about soul remembering. So often people say to me, what is my passion? What is my purpose? That sort of thing. And I say, well, actually, let's ask the record keepers and guides, and they normally bring up a past life of yours to show you who you are at a soul level. So once you understand who you are at a soul level and your divine blueprint, it's much easier to work out how you need to step forward and how you need to move forward in your life, in this lifetime. Okay. And I think that tuning into your highest truth and anchoring it here is where you are going to find the most exciting times. You're going to find the best life. You're going to feel like you living the best life in your highest timeline. So that is something that I help to facilitate during a reading. We work out where you've come from, where you most likely should be going to. And I also assist with, obviously, the healing that can be done actually inside the records. I am a karma clearer. They told me that's my divine blueprint. So that was exciting to find out and discover. But what is your divine blueprint? I'd love to know. In the meantime, I would like to discuss 5 top tips on how to work with the Akashic Records. So firstly, let's look at, we want to identify root cause of emotional triggers. So instead of asking, why do I feel this way? The record keepers and guides ask us, where does this originate in my soul's journey? So this could become from past lives, for example, like anxiety or self-doubt, or echoes of past life experiences and ancestral imprints, or energetic patterns that are simply ready to be cleared. And they're showing up to show you that it's time to clear them. So this can be uncomfortable in the main, but it is also the signpost for you to say it's time now to fix this. Okay. The second thing I'd like to talk about is clearing old soul contracts. So we all carry energetic agreements, contracts of silence, suffering, or maybe even loyalty that may have served us once, but are now outdated. They're no longer, they've done their job, and yet they're still hanging around. So in the records, we can consciously rewrite these into soul aligned intentions so that we can remove them. And they could be then supporting your freedom, abundance, and expansion. Abundance is such an amazing concept when you start to work with it. It really is. Really does open up a whole new world. So very exciting. Okay, so the third thing I'd like to talk about is receiving energetic healing by entering the Akashic field. You can recalibrate your frequency, and you can visualize gold light source stream coming through your energy field, harmonizing with your chakras, gently upgrading your vibration. And that can be like a quantum healing session, subtle but deeply powerful. So when I open the records, a lot of people start crying as soon as I've opened the records, because they can immediately feel the energy of love coming through from the record keepers and guides. And that can be deeply emotional, because we can feel so lost in this physical plane. We can feel out to sea, abandoned, we can feel disconnected. And when I open the records, we can suddenly feel that connection that's been there all the time, but we have a physical body that we're in, which can be very dense and can also feel like it removes us from that deep connection. So once we've opened the records, we can do that. And plus, if I do a karma and ancestral clearing for you, we can remove any of those outdated programs, and that will help you feel lighter straight away. A lot of people tell me they sleep very well after the reading, and they feel extreme relief after that karma clearing. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about during the, with regard to healing inside the records, is rewriting limiting beliefs. Okay, so we can have limiting beliefs, and they can come from all sorts of places. They can come from past lives, ancestors. They could be handed down from generation to generation. They could be just from your own, one of your parents or guardians that maybe told you that you were less than you actually are. So we can get limiting beliefs from that. And what the records tend to ask is, what belief is keeping me small? And then you would follow up with, what truth does my higher self hold instead? So we want to move from the place of feeling unworthy, the place of feeling less. We want to move to a place of higher vibration. We want to step back into our power, step into our truth, and remove all the heaviness of the burdens from this dimension. Okay. And the energy that comes through during an Akashic record reading is very liberating. It shifts you instantly into a higher alignment, instantly. So it's very exciting. The record keepers and guides do often give homework as well to help you keep into that higher vibration. But I would say that it is pretty instant as well. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, the number 5, about activating future timelines from within the records. And the records can show you the most aligned version of your future self. The you who is already thriving, creating, and living from a place of purpose. So what we would do then is we would ask, when would it feel like, we would ask, what would it feel like to fully embody my divine potential. Okay. Then let that vibration ripple through your entire being. And if you'd like to start exploring the records yourself, you can do this already by yourself. I'd say a lot of people come to me and they say they've tried everything by themselves to get into the records. They've tried going to a quiet place. They've tried opening their heart with invocations, calling the guides in, and asking one question at a time and waiting for the answer. But really what happens is if you haven't followed the process to get yourself into that higher vibrational state, then it can be very difficult to get connected with your Akashic records. So a lot of people say to me, everybody's supposed to have access to these records 24/7, and they do, but for many reasons, like I've actually outlined today, we might have past life stuff, blocks, beliefs, all sorts of things holding us back. And if you can't undo that, then it's very difficult to get connected to the higher vibration in the 11th dimension, which is where most of the guides hang out. So if you wanted to, you could sign up to do my 8-week course, which takes you step by step into the records. Okay, so we start with the higher self journey. We then do the activation of the Merkaba level 1. We do level 2. We get also help from the beautiful dragons available at the moment. They are here. They are available. We should be using them to assist us with everything because they are really phenomenal. So you could sign up to do that, and I will take you step by step, either in person. We could meet for 2 hours every week for 8 weeks, and we'll go through the steps, or you could take advantage of the on-demand system that I've created, which is a series of videos that actually covers the entire 8-week course, except for the last week, which we need to do live. I'm afraid I can't get around that one yet. But you could easily study the system in your own time, at your own pace. And then when you're ready, all the way through, you can ask me questions, send me a WhatsApp, send me an email, whatever you prefer, whatever style of communication you prefer. And then afterwards, we would meet in person for that last session together, and we would do an experiment together. I'd bring in some lovely guinea pigs for you to work on, to try your skills at. And then afterwards, we have a system where you would do some free readings for people that you don't know. And then at the end of that, I would hand you the certificate. We'd have an interview process. We'd go through what were the wins, what happened, how did it work out for you, and then I would hand over the certificate to you in a certificate ceremony, which is always very exciting and high vibrational. And then after that, you are also most welcome to become an Akashic Record reader on my website, where you can actually start the process of engaging and receiving actual paid customers to work with you. Or if you have your own website, then you go ahead and you do what you need to do. You do you. But I just wanted to let you all know about that because I'm getting such good reviews about the 8-week training, and I just wanted to share that with you. So that isn't a possibility. So I just want to end on, though, just to summarize, the Akashic Records is a great place to help you with healing. And it's also important that the record keepers and guides remind us that they speak in energy, symbols, frequencies, they're not always about the words. So I would trust your intuition when you are connecting with them. And they also like to say that true healing isn't always about fixing what's wrong with you. It's more about remembering who you truly are and showing you your power. Okay. And the Akashic Records are a sacred mirror that reflects your divinity back at you. And at this time, I know that the world is shifting rapidly, and as collective frequencies rise, your soul is being invited to do the same. So let's rise with Mother Earth. Let's rise with the collective. And And if you're ready to experience this level of clarity and empowerment, then I invite you to at least book a private Akashic record reading with myself or one of the guides on the website, and we'd be very happy to help you and be very honored. I would personally be very honored to assist you with this journey and help you to progress in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual understanding of who you really are at a soul level. I would like everyone on this planet to understand who they are, appreciate their gifts, share their gifts with the world. And like I said, let's rise together. Apart from that, I hope you have a very magical day, and I will see you soon. Take care.